Hello, everybody. Today I'm gonna talk to you about some experiences I had with in the drug world, particularly back in 2012. I wanted to get off heroin, and I was in the midst of moving down to Georgia with my wife and kids. So I successfully got off the heroin, and what had happened was I got introduced to methamphetamine. Now, in the beginning of taking this stuff, I have to admit, it made me feel really good. Made me think that it was going to improve my relationship with my wife and kids. I thought it would enhance my ability to stay up and get more work done. Generally, I thought it was going to be a major improvement to my life. What ended up happening was I had switched one addiction for another one. I had destroyed everything I had worked for in that last year, including getting off of the heroin. I started exhibiting odd and strange behavior. I thought people were against me. I was hearing and seeing things. I was staying up for weeks at a time. I was exhibiting more violent behavior. Um, I was just a total mess. It caused me to get locked up twice. Um, I it was a horrible experience. The reason why I'm making this video is it's just to stress the point of um, when we decided to take a chemical because we think it's going to improve our life, it normally doesn't end very well, especially these drugs like methamphetamine. I, in a 2-year period, had lost everything: my wife, my kids, my house. What I was doing was creating the equivalent of traumatic brain injury. So I lost the capability of making good, sound decisions. It was just awful. And it's important to point out that our brain is a complex system. It's got plenty of different chemicals that work to make us behave certain ways, make us feel differently. These chemicals like GABA or serotonin or dopamine, and then some things like cortisol or stress hormones. When you start playing around with these complex systems, what happens is they start not working right. Your body is not putting out these chemicals because you're already spiking them with the drugs. And then, even after quitting these drugs, it takes quite some time to heal all the damage that has been done. Just think this methamphetamine's made 100 different ways, and all with corrosive, acidic chemicals that would take the paint off the wall. But yet, some of us are smoking and shooting this stuff. I can honestly say that methamphetamine was the total destruction of everything that I had and that I held dearest to me. It's a guarantee. Somebody told me this, and first instinct, don't want to believe anybody, or I'm just rebellious in nature sometimes. I'm working on changing that part of me as well. Doing pretty good with it. Um, but what I thought was going to improve my relationship totally destroyed it. Alienated us all. Alienated me from me and my family, me and my wife, me and my ex, rather. Um, and it led me down a road to do some really odd, risky, stupid behavior. Uh, I was not addressing my mental illness. Uh, I was self medicating to try to feel better, and the more I did it, the worse I felt. And then when I left Georgia, come back to New York, I had gone right back to the heroin, and then I started experimenting with speedballing. So I'd given my mind or brain no chance to heal. Caused me to go down some pretty rough roads, caused me to go to prison. Ultimately, it was just horrible. The reason why I make these videos and share this stuff is I really hope somebody sees this video before attempting to try these drugs. Maybe they can do some more research on top of what they've seen from me. And I encourage that. Anytime you start doing something different, you should always do as much research as possible. And that can help you in the long run save your relationships, save your family. It's just, it's a difficult way to put it. And, you know, it's a lot of denial. And what had helped me was the 4.5 years I spent in prison. Unfortunately, I have to say that because it helped. I had to really take a look at what I wanted in life, who I wanted in my life, and what improvements I wanted to make. I had to do some cognitive behavioral therapy, which is very helpful. I got on some decent medication. Sublocade really saved me in my addiction. I don't get as many cravings and problems as that. Just what I needed to do is allow a doctor to treat me and recognize that I have an addictive personality and that I need to be upfront and honest not only with myself but with them as well. So when I go to the hospital, I let them know that I have an addiction problem, so they're not putting me on pain medicine or any other risky medication. And first I had to be honest with myself, and then I could, be honest with everybody else. And I still struggle with that. But nowadays I'm working on regaining trust, helping my community build and become stronger. I've joined and donated some time for criminal justice reforms, parole reforms, things that will help our communities in the long term. I find that is most rewarding for me. It makes me feel good, and it actually raises my brain chemistry. All the chemicals I wanted to raise with the drugs, I'm doing it natural now. Because when things work out and when we're doing them and it works, it raises our dopamine levels, and that helps with our serotonin. These chemicals that make us feel good and stay calm and stuff like that. It's really about healing the brain and allowing yourself to get better. My suggestion is, if you haven't sought treatment, get it. If you need help, ask for it. And check out these channels on YouTube, like Put the Shovel Down, Dr. B's Recovery. sober docs. There's so many of them to choose from, and they're very helpful. But I wanted to mark that experience. Please leave your comments below. I appreciate if you can subscribe, like my content. The more views I get, the more my content gets out, the more people I can help. Thank you.